we're going to do more of the same. But remember, we want to think of those squares, those perfect squares. So 2 squared is 4. What's 3 squared? 9. What's 4 squared? 16. What's 5 squared? 25. Now I don't need to go any higher because the highest number I have under the square root is 24. So again, just kind of recap, I'm saying 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared, and that are those terms. Alright, so I can't reduce this anymore. I noticed that 24 is divisible by 4, but not 9, not 16, and not 25. So I could say the square root of 4, what times 4 gives me 24? 6. So I'm going to multiply that by the square root of 6. In other words, 4 times 6 equals 24. Does that make sense? Okay. So then I'm going to tack on this minus 2 times the square root of 6. Now, I don't know if you guys have already picked up on this, but I've got some like terms. I've got this one and this one. I have 2 square roots of 6. But I got to do a little math over here first. So this negative 3 square root of 3 plus 2 times, what's the square root of 4? 2. Yep. And then that's times the square root of 6 minus 2 times the square root of 6. So now, this stays the same. What's 2 times 2? 4 times the square root of 6 minus 2 times the square root of 6. I'm going to combine like terms. So this negative 3 square root of 3 is fine, but how do I combine positive 4 root 6 minus 2 root 6? What do you think that is? Think of it like this. If I hold out my hand and I put 4 square roots of 6 in there and then I take 2 away, how many do I have left? Oh, 2. Because 4 minus 2 is just 2. And it's positive 2. So what I did is I combined the like terms. I took 4. And you could think of it like this, right? If I were to factor out the 2, I would get 2 root 6 minus, oh wait. If I were to factor out the root 6, that's what I'm trying to do. So if I were to, hold on one second, I know you have a question. Think of these 2 terms like this. If I were to factor out the square root of 6, that would leave me with 4 minus 2, which would be the square root of 6. And then when you combine these 2, you're going to end up with 2. I'm just rewriting it in the order that we're used to seeing it. Right? So that's where this term comes from. Yeah. What was your question? Did I answer it? Okay.